Hey, happy Thursday. Welcome to Energize Live, a lunch and learn time. It's Thursday noon. Yes, we often do Energize Live in the morning, but today we are doing it at noon. So welcome. Today we are talking about making money for spring break. We're talking about making money. And if you and I have not met before, I hope we're friends here on social. My name is Julie Boris. Most people call me JV. And today we're talking about money. And this is not casual. You know, your life isn't casual. This isn't a dress rehearsal. So I want to talk to you without wasting a lot of your time because there's so much noise, there's so much chaos out there. I want to get right to it because if you want to make more money and you want to help your family maybe take a spring break trip or amplify that spring break trip, then let's get right to it, right? And I know you're like, well, JV, you actually live where most people spring break. Yes, I do. I do live in the state now where most people come for spring break, or a lot of people come for spring break. It is the state that I used to come to for spring break. And now I live here. That didn't happen overnight. It happened step by step by step by step. I followed a blueprint. I've been doing this for 15 years. I have a game plan and I can help you do the same. How many times have you laid awake at night knowing that there's more in you, knowing that you have more potential, more possibility, knowing that you want more for your family, knowing that you want more for your life, you just don't know what that more is and you don't know how to get there? Have you ever searched through your couch cushions for quarters to buy a Diet Coke? Because I have done that. Have you ever wondered which bill could you be late on to pay the other one? Have you ever gone to the grocery store and wondered if your card would be declined? It's really easy to look at someone and see their chapter 15 if you're sitting in chapter 1. And especially for women, it's real easy for a woman to look at another woman. I don't know why this is. It's just sort of how we're wired, and we have to work to undo that baggage. It's real easy for a woman to look at another woman and go, well, it's easy for you. And the thing is, it's not easy for any of us. It's not easy for any of us to say no to our children. It's not easy for any of us to lie awake at night in bed wondering if we're going to be able to pay our bills. It's not easy for any of us to want just a Diet Coke. I just wanted a Diet Coke. And I was searching through my couch cushions because surely someone dropped some change and I could find 50 cents and get a Diet Coke. That's not easy for anyone. And I want to talk a little bit today about how we can ease that a little bit. Because if you are wanting to say yes to your family, you want to take your family on a trip for spring break, you live somewhere where you're like, we need a moment to breathe and be together as a family. We need a moment to make some memories as a family. And or maybe you do have that trip scheduled and it's not the trip that you wanted to take. There were a lot of years that the only trip that we took was either to my parents' house here in Florida, but in Fort Myers. And we couldn't afford the tickets or whatever to Disney, so we might come to my parents' house in Fort Myers. There was also a lot of years after my father passed away and my mom sold the house and we weren't even coming here. And there were a lot of years that our vacation would be my husband's family's lake home in Wisconsin. And again, it's real easy to say, well, easy for you. It's such a hardship that you had to go to your family's lake home in Wisconsin. However, when that's your only choice, when that's your only option to take a vacation with your family, when that's your only option to go to your in-laws and stay at your in-laws' house and be on their schedule, when that's your only option, it's a very different story. It's a very different feeling. When when you would take that vacation to the lake, or you would be in summer and it would be a break from teaching high school, and you'd be glad, not just because you get to be with your children, which you want to be all the time, but because you didn't have to pay daycare. So that expense came out of your family budget. I remember those days too. I would be excited. Or if it was a snow day, I would be excited because I didn't have to pay daycare that day. That money didn't have to come out of my family budget. So how did I get from searching for 2 quarters to living in the place where most people come for spring break? You know, when I said yes to my business, about which I knew nothing, it started really small because I knew nothing. And I think sometimes people fear saying yes to something new because they don't know how much time it will take. They talk themselves out of it because they feel like they don't know anything. They don't want to have to post on social media and all of that. And I hear all that. I feel all that. I was all that. I am all that. And I said yes to something about which I knew nothing while I was on MySpace. And I just knew there was more to life than what I was living. There was more to life than searching through my couch cushions for 2 quarters, which, by the way, we had that couch for a long time. There was more to life than on the rare occasion we could go to Disney. I saved everything. I saved everything. This is from our first trip. And I saved it. I saved it because I didn't know when we could go back. I saved the plastic bags. I saved the maps. I saved everything because I didn't know when we could go back. Searching for quarters and couch cushions, not knowing if you can take your family on vacation, having to only go to your parents' house or your in-laws' house. While I'm grateful for that, listen, you can be grateful and want more. You can be grateful and want more. I wanted more. You want more. You know there's more out there and you want more for your life, but how do you get there? So I said yes to this business opportunity about which I knew nothing. Like I literally knew nothing about it. And little by little, I started stair-stepping my way into some supplemental income for my family. And this is how I equated it. My middle daughter, Josie, was starting serious ballet. Not just like, let me take ballet at the Y. We did that for 1 semester. And after that first semester, her teachers came to her and said, you need to go somewhere else. We can no longer help you. You need to go somewhere else. So we enrolled her at Milwaukee Ballet School when we lived in Wisconsin. And she took ballet, you know, years and years. And then you get to the place where they're finally going to go on their point shoes. And they have to get point shoes. And at the time, point shoes are about $100+ a shoe. If you know anything about ballet, dancers can go through, you know, couple pairs a week. They could go 4 or 5 pairs a month. Really just depends on the dancer, right? And how they want the shoe to feel, all that. So I would start equating what I could do in my business, the supplemental income I could do in my business. I would start equating that to point shoes. I would start equating that to plane tickets. It's going to cost me X amount of dollars for plane tickets. Let me build my business for plane tickets for spring break. It's going to cost me X amount of dollars for point shoes. Let me build that for point shoes. It's going to cost me X amount of dollars. And I would start equating what I was building in my business with what my children needed. Because you and I both know we'll do anything to say yes to our families. There is no worse feeling as a parent than having to say no to your child. No, you can't pursue that passion. No, you can't have that experience. No, you can't go on that trip. No, you can't. No, we can't go on vacation. No, we can't go to Disney because we can't afford it. There's no worse feeling than that. So I started equating what I could build and do in my business with how's this going to equate. And I started back in the day when we would get paper checks, I started a Disney fund at my bank. And I would go down, and the very first check I made was for $38. And I would go down to the bank, and I would take my little paper check, and I would sign it, and I would say, this much goes in family budget, checking account, this much goes in my Disney account. And they would literally cash the paper check, and they'd split it up. And every week, I would go down there with my paper check, and this goes in the budget, this goes in the Disney account. This goes in the budget, this goes in the Disney account. Every week I did that. And then there came a week where, because I knew how much it would cost, and I knew what I had to save, and I just kept going every week and dividing up that check. And then there came a week when I went in, and the bank clerks, who by now knew me very well because I came in every week with my paper check, there came a week where I went in and I said, this is the last one for the Disney account. Because we have what we need. And I'm going to take my family to Disney. Bit by bit, dollar by dollar, I earned the supplemental income that we needed over time to take my family back to Disney. Because I knew there was more in life than searching for quarters in my couch cushions to buy a Diet Coke. I knew there was more in life than laying awake at night and wondering if I could pay my bills. I knew there was more in life than wanting more and just being grateful for where I was instead of going after the more while being grateful at the same time. I knew there was more. And I went down to the bank that day. I still remember what she looked like. And I said, here we go. And she said, what was the amount you're trying to save? And I said this, and she said, well, you're there. I haven't thought about that for a while. Today's the day. You're there. Over time, bit by bit, week by week, I created enough supplemental income that I could take my family back to Disney. I remember the time that I got that little paper check and I called my husband at work. I know exactly where I was sitting in our kitchen back in Carmel, Indiana, and we had not redone anything of it yet. It was so heinous. It was a heinous green color. The cabinets were ugly wood, and I was sitting at this gross desk trying to build this business. So please don't think you need the most perfect environment and situation to build a business that can change your life. And I remember calling my husband and said, you know, I'm gonna be able to really contribute to our family's income this week with what I'm making. Now, you know, my business, formerly Team Beachbody, now Team Body, doesn't guarantee any income. It does take hard work and time. And here's the thing. You know, Carl Deichler, the CEO of Team Body, said to me one time, he goes, well, you're an outlier. You're an outlier because you have a big dream and you will work relentlessly to make that happen for your family. You're an outlier. And it made me think of a conference I was at, and Gary Vaynerchuk was the speaker. Do you know who Gary Vaynerchuk is? Let me know in the comments. Do you know who he is? Most people call him Gary V. Do you know who Gary V is? Maybe you know him. You've read one of his books, or you heard him speak, or you've listened to him, watched his YouTube videos, Gary V. And he was the keynote speaker at this conference I was at. And he said, I'm going to tell you all my secrets, how I built my big social media following, how I'm so famous now, you know, and I'm going to tell you all my secrets. And if you don't know him, just look him up. Just go to Google and look him up. And he said, I'm going to tell you all my secrets. So I built a huge social media following, built a multi-million-dollar business, so I'm going to tell you all my secrets. And he said, you know why I'm going to tell you all my secrets? Because most of you in this audience won't do them. I thought, wow, what a gut check. I'm going to tell you all my secrets to build an incredible business. And I'm going to tell them to you for free. because most of you won't do them anyway. And I thought, I think that's why Carl said to me, well, you're a little bit of an outlier, because you will work relentlessly over a long period of time to make something happen for your family. And I thought, yeah, I am. And that's who I want to partner with. I want to partner with outliers. I want to partner with those women. I want to partner with you if you are willing to work relentlessly towards creating your life on purpose with purpose, because that's what I am. That's who I like to hang out with, the outliers. And speaking of outliers, I want to tell you about a partner on my team, Patty. Patty is up in Canada. Patty, I hope you're watching this, or you watch it a little bit later, because I'm talking about you, girl. And Patty became a partner on our team. Today's Thursday. She became a partner on our team 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. And within a week, she had created income for her family, and she had helped other women do the same. So why do I tell you that? Because it's real easy to listen to someone's story and go, yeah, again, it's easy for you. Women have a tendency to do that. Yeah, it's easy for you. No, I have a blueprint, and I share it with my business partners. So Patty joined our team, and within a week was making that supplemental income. She, whatever she wanted to do with it. Maybe she wanted to take her family on spring break. She lives in Canada. So I might want to take my family on spring break too if I lived in Canada and it was April. Not that it's not nice in Canada. I'm just saying it's cold. That's all I'm saying, is that it's cold. Or maybe she wants to put it away for something for her daughter. They have one daughter. Whatever Patty wants to do, she gets to decide, and now she has the option because she joined our team. She tapped into the blueprint. She tapped into the opportunity, and within a week was already making supplemental income for her family, was already able to say yes to her family in a way that she wasn't before, and was bringing women onto her team who could do that too. So it's not just me. And you don't just have to want to go to Disney. That's right, Kelly. Patty's on fire. That's right. And Kelly is a part of our team as well, who is doing that too. There are women on our team who are creating their own lives on purpose with purpose in a way that works for them. And that one decision that I made to say yes to this business, it changed everything, little by little, bit by bit, that one decision. And I learned that it's okay to be grateful for where you are and want more. And I learned that being grateful for where you are and wanting more also gives permission to other women to do that too. I learned, I was reminded, even though I grew up in a house with a mom who played small, thought small, lived small, and would love if I would stay small. I learned when I said yes to my business that nobody's here on this earth to play small, and that we all have untapped potential and untapped abilities and untapped possibility. If you just align it with the right vehicle, if you just say yes, if you're willing to say yes, if you stop being so casual with your life, you can tap into that. You can create your life on purpose with purpose. So you probably know that I believe that becoming a partner with Team Body is the most powerful way to find your purpose, to unlock your potential, and to finally create the freedom to say yes to your family. And here's what I do know. Had I not said yes to it 15 years ago, I'd very likely still be laying in bed every night wondering how I was going to pay the bills. I would not have been able to say yes to my girls to help them follow their passions and their pursuits. And I want you to think about that now. Wherever your challenge is right now, maybe you too are taking your car to the grocery store and wondering if it's going to be declined. Maybe you too are looking at opportunities that your child has and you don't know how you're going to pay for them. Maybe you too want to take a trip. You want to go on spring break and you don't know how you're going to make that happen. If you do nothing different, February 2024 is going to look very much like February 2023. You're still going to be lying in bed at night wondering how you're going to pay the bills. You're going to be searching through your couch cushions looking for 2 quarters. You're going to be looking your child in the eye going, oh, I want to say yes and I can't. February 2024 will look very much like February 2023 if we don't do something different. But on the other hand, if we say yes to something, even if it's a little scary, even if we don't know what it's all about or what to do, trusting that the person who's sharing it with you has been there, done that, and has a blueprint for you, if we say yes to that, what might February 2024 look like? Could it look like more ease in your family's budget? Could it look like planning a trip without having to open up, as my mindset coach Brad, as my business coach Brad always says, without having to open up chase.com to check? Could it look like that? Could it look like a calmer, happier you? Could it look like that a year from now? Well, that's a choice. And here's what I know. I know that becoming a Team Body partner is the single most powerful way to create the opportunity to say yes to your family. And if you're worried about time and not knowing what to do, I have figured that out for you, and I have a special tracker that I can help you with that time, because I have been doing it for 15 years and I have figured out stuff. You don't have to worry about what to do. I figured that out for you. And if you're worried about, well, what do I even post on social media? I have also figured that out for you. I have social media training exclusive for my business partners. You don't have to worry about that. And listen, I started on MySpace, and if you are already here on the gram and you're already tapping into social media, you're so much further ahead of me. When I started, I was on MySpace. Can you even believe it? You don't even know what MySpace is. I can show you how to cover the cost of your products and show you how to make supplemental income for your family so that you can take that trip for spring break. In the words of Ursula, the sea witch, it's what I do. It's what I live for. It's what I live for. Helping women step into their potential and their possibility and create the opportunity to say yes to their family. It's what I do. It's what I live for. And I believe partnering with Team Body is the single most powerful way to do that. So here's what I want you to do right now. If this resonates with you in any way, if you want February 2024 to look different than February 2023, I want you to get off this Instagram Live, and I want you to do one of 2 things. Number 1, you're going to send me a direct message, or number 2, you're going to go to my profile and you're going to click the link in it. There's only 2 options, okay? We're going to get off this Instagram Live. You're either send me a direct message and be like, let's go, or you're going to click the link in my profile and be like, let's go. Because I want you to sit in the driver's seat of your life and make your February 2024 different, better, leveled up, more confident, happier, more ease, more joy than February 2023, which doesn't mean February 2023 isn't good, but you already know that you're meant for more. So DM me or go fill out that link in my profile, and let's get busy creating your life on purpose with purpose. Happy Thursday.